All right. Hey everybody, this is Abat with Generational Wealth. We're back with another video. Before I begin, I wanted to take the time to thank everyone that's newly subscribed to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. When the Generational Wealth platform was created, I wanted to make sure that we were providing information that could, number one, push us to obtain generational wealth, if that is something that you desire, or two, maybe for most of us, at least provide us with resources and insights that can push us to that place in life to where we feel like we're the most comfortable. So today, I wanted to speak about something that has absolutely been on my mind for a long time, primarily because, throughout my entire life, this is something that I've had to deal with. And I'm sure maybe right now at this particular time, either A, you're going through this, or B, you're at this juncture in life, and that is the art of mastering adversity or overcoming adversity. So when I was at a point in life where things were not going well, and I was more than anything disappointed with myself and my results, I was definitely at a place where I just wanted things to stop. I couldn't quite figure out why I was in a rut, and most importantly, why I wasn't happy with myself. That's a combination or a recipe for disaster. But I heard a long time ago from someone that I admire dearly, who's no longer with us. His name is Jim Rohn. He said something as simple as, for things to change for you, you have to change. And if you don't change, nothing will change. When I first heard those words, it hit me like a ton of bricks, because I realized that I was the problem, and not in a pessimistic way. It was just that if I wanted things to turn around, I had to be that star to push myself forward. And it wasn't going to be anyone else. No one was coming to save me but the person that was in the mirror. And I also heard that all good will be attacked. That also hit me as well, because in my head, and maybe some of us think this, I was telling myself, Abad, you're a good person. Like, why are all these things happening to you? And the mere simple answer is, if you're on this planet, all good will be attacked. You will go through things that you have to push through and break through. And when you do that, you become nothing but a better person than you were previously. So something that I wanted to share, which definitely helped me metamorphosize myself into a significantly better person. So at one point in my life, in 4 years, I lived in 3 states. The state that I grew up in, to the West Coast when I took a leap and moved to the West Coast, and then to the South, which was Atlanta. I lived in those 3 states in a certain time span. But when I first moved to the West Coast, I was extremely excited. In my mind, there was nothing that I put myself to that I couldn't achieve in. And I still think that way till this day. So I moved to the West Coast, didn't even have a job, but I knew for a fact the opportunities that I wanted would present itself to me because I was willing to put in the work and I had the belief. So sure enough, within a matter of 2 weeks, I started working a job. I was extremely excited. I was doing sales over the phone, which was my niche because I love speaking to people. So I immersed myself in that job. And because I believed in myself so much, within a short time period, I received 4 different pay increases in 5 months. When I was on the East Coast where I lived and grew up, and I shared this before, the most amount of income that I made in a year was $28,000. That is a small amount of money back then and right now. So, things were going well, and I decided to get my own apartment, which I was excited and elated about. And when I got my apartment, or when I received my apartment rather, the next day, bought some food poisoning. So I was knocked out for an entire 24 hours. But fortunately, I was able to get some antibiotics and I recovered from the food poisoning right away. So I was back to work, excited. And at work, the phones just shut off. And it was like a moment of silence, which was weird because there was about 150 people in the building. We're all looking around, wondering what's going on. So the director of the program, said, "Hey, everybody, let's huddle into a meeting." So we all go into that meeting, and I remember these words like it was yesterday, because I felt like everything was silent when this man spoke. So he literally said, I'm so sorry, everyone. Your jobs have been terminated. Please, if you can just put your badges at the front desk and exit the front door, that would be greatly appreciated. You can file for unemployment. You'll get unemployment, but please, you have to vacate the premises now. So when those words were stated, it was like my life paused, because in a matter of less than 42 hours, I just received the keys to my new apartment. Now I'm finding out that I'm unemployed. That was devastating for me, because I was wondering, what am I going to do now? But I also heard a long time ago, it's not what happens to you that determines your future, it's what you do about what happens to you. So of course, I hit the ground running, started looking for other jobs, fortunately found one. It wasn't the best, because I was doing catering, working odd hours in a 24-hour period. I was working 2 shifts. Think about that. That makes no sense. So you're practically not sleeping, but that's what my schedule was. And that was what I had to go through in the meantime to support my new apartment. So that was very, very, very hard, because the schedule that I was working was out of this mind, and I was barely sleeping, but I had to take care of myself. So fast forward, that job ended, and I ended up getting a new job, fortunately, just a month and a half later, and everything did a 180 for me. That new job that I got, that's when my pay increased about 50% from the pay that I would receive, or that I did receive, for my entire life. My income it was almost like it hit a rocket. And this wouldn't have happened to me, meaning me getting that new position and that occupation, if I didn't focus on overcoming the adversity. I could have easily quit. That was very crippling, hearing that your services are no longer needed, and I just got my own apartment, I just moved to a new state. But again, the fact of the matter is, it's not what happens to you that determines your life future, it's what you do about what happens to you. So I hope I kept this short. If you're in a position right now where you feel like you're in a rut, that you're stuck, that you're the only one going through it, that nothing's going to change, there's a news flash for you. You're probably in that position because it's meant to make something for you. Utilize that time to metamorphosize yourself and become who you weren't, to get to where you want to go. And I absolutely promise you that the story that you'll share would be probably more impactful than this one. So I hope this reaches someone. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, generational wealth.